welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 classic Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for Paying the Piper, and with me today is a man that pays me to join these reviews. It's my good friend Manny Cruz. Say hi.
Your brother plays a didgeridoo.
Indeed. Actually, he's a musician, and he's probably tried didgeridoo, to be honest. But few factoids out of the way. So this is Paying the Piper, released on the 12th of March, 1949. It's the 550th, yay, 550, in the series, and it's directed by Robert McKimson. You can find this on the Looney Tunes Golden Collection Volume 5 DVD set, and as always, I'll have a link below to that set. So Manny, for all those who have not seen this cartoon, what happens?
Porky is a Pied Piper, and not like we've ever seen him do that before.
Oh no.
That ended up getting rid of all the rats in town. The town of Hamelin, of course. But the cats and their leader, the Supreme Cat, and Supreme is spelled in this cartoon S-U-P-R-E-E-M, best spelling ever. So the Supreme Cat and the rest of the cats are not happy. So the Supreme Cat ends up dressing up as a rat to make sure Porky is not paid for leading all the other rats out of town.
It's really strange, isn't it? Just the mayor is not going to pay over just one, well, in this case, big rat. But anyway, it's a bit strange, but hey, it's pretty straightforward as well. So, a few bits of trivia for everyone. So, as as Manny has hinted in the synopsis, there was indeed another Pied Piper cartoon starring Porky called Piper Porky, directed by Mel Blanc. I mean, try saying Pied Piper Porky fast 10 times. I dare you. You can't do it. And interestingly enough, they were both written by Warren Foster. So, there you go. Now, I'm going to have a link below to my good friend Devin Baxter's article on this cartoon where he goes into detail of who animated what based on an animated draft. But there appears to be some deleted scenes. Whether they've been fully animated or not, we don't know. But they'll probably removed for pacing reasons, and I believe it's to do with the cats complaining about all the rats being out of town. So definitely check out the link after you listen to our little review here for more information. And as seems to be in a lot of these shorts recently, that whole "how do you do" reference is based off the Mad Russian character played by Bert Gordon.
How do you do?
And yes, a lot of you probably thinking, we know, but hey, some people are new to the channel, so I'll do it every single time. So, Manny, this is another one of those solid shorts, and with some great animation and some really great gags, but more importantly, to me anyway, is a wonderful vocal performance by Mel Blanc. It's incredible how he does all those voices.
You never get tired of Mel Blanc doing his thing. I mean, you mentioned it before, but especially when the whole scene with the cats, the Supreme Cat's, dopey voice, I always get a kick out of, but like, I always get impressed whenever, you see recordings or you find out that a voice actor is talking to themselves pretty much. They completely take over as another character.
Rid the town of rats? Why, that dirty... They can't do this to us cats. There's only one guy can save us now. The Supreme Cat. That's it! The Supreme Cat! He never let us down yet. And that's our problem, Mr. Supreme. Now look, fellas, have I ever let you down?
And it's like, I only wish that we had more footage, especially during his prime of Mel Blanc, pretty much talking to himself, as the Supreme Cat, as the other cat, as Porky, as the mayor, of course, because he has a very refined voice for the mayor of Hamelin. And it's just like a joy to hear every single time.
Oh, and the thing is, if you pay attention to the scene in the beginning, I mean, look how many cats, look how many different dumb cat voices he does for each and every character. They're all distinctive. I mean, it's all Mel, but they're all distinctive. And you just think, wow, the man truly was a man of 1,000 voices. Like how we could just think of, all right, that cat will sound like this cat will sound like that. And that's assuming he even saw some of these pictures, because sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't. But it's fantastic. I hadn't seen this cartoon for a long time. In fact, I probably hadn't seen this since the Gone Collection Volume 5 came out, so I completely forgot about it. But I enjoyed the fact that this was a great twist on the Pied Piper story, an aftermath, if you will, of what would actually happen next. And I thought that was a great idea, because I thought, oh, is this going to be like a remake of Piper Porky, which, let's face it, hardly even featured Porky, because Bob McKimson didn't really want to do much with Porky at that stage of his career.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what did you think of the twist on the Piper story here?
I thought it was really good. I mean, I enjoyed just, the fact that Porky did his job too well. Everything was hunky-dory, ready to go, and then just the cat comes and messes things up. I will say now that, thinking about the cat being in disguise as the bigger rat, and I'm definitely, I don't know if you got it, and I mean, it's pretty obvious considering who the guy who directed it, but I was definitely getting vibes of Hippity Hopper with the whole, like, case of mistaken identity or mistaken animal. I mean, I don't know what you think about that.
Well, I actually thought Hippity Hopper would have been interesting, but it wouldn't have made any sense, of course. But yeah, it definitely did remind me of that, though, especially that rat costume. But looking forward, I mean, one thing I actually learned from watching this cartoon, because there was that insult.
Yeah, your sister smokes corn silk. My sister doesn't smoke corn silk. She works in a butcher shop and smokes hams.
Didn't actually make any sense to me. And I'm thinking, what's that? So I looked it up, because Google's your friend, and I've now learned that people indeed did, and maybe they still do, smoke corn silk, and apparently it's not as addictive as nicotine. No, I'm not encouraging people to smoke it now. I'm just pointing out what I've read, okay? Kids do not smoke, all right? Please don't. And corn silk apparently is also being used as medicine. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
You brother, it's jelly birds.
Did you know about it?
I mean, I've heard of corn silk, but I didn't know about smoking it. But I mean, of course, the very, I guess you could say, morbid joke where Porky's like, my sister doesn't smoke corn silk. He's like, she works at a deli or whatever. It says she smokes hams. I was like, oh God. And then later on, it's your brother eats jelly beans. And of course, leading up to the end of the cartoon, where it was like a running gag, the insults.
Hey, your sister drives a pickle wagon.
Your sister drives a pickle wagon. I didn't even bother to look up what a pickle wagon is. I should have, but it's just a pickle wagon, the little boy, and he's like, it's a wagon made out of a pickle. And I got a kick out of that.
Yes.
there was a few things I wanted to point out that I thought were interesting. I actually looked up the date that City Hall was built. So you see it outside when Porky's with the rat. So City Hall was built MCDXX22, and I had an idea what the date was, but I double checked it. City Hall was built in 1422, so that is the date that is on there. Theme song of Porky playing the clarinet was Little Brown Jug, which it's a nice little choice song. I like the way that he played it more conservatively, more traditionally when he was trying to lure the rat out. And then he did like a more jazz version throughout the cartoon. The part where Porky was like stuck in a fence and his rump, the best meat's in the rump, when his rump was shaking, for those of you that remember the amazing Pork Jam music video that used to be on Cartoon Network back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, the ending of that music video has that part of Porky's rump shaking and hearing him stutter. And every time I see Porky shaking this rear in that cartoon, I think of a bee bye, and then you see it 3 times on the screen. It's a great music video, just nothing but clips of different Porky shorts. Oh, and I'm going to let you talk about it, but near the end of the cartoon, you and I both came to the same conclusion about why is this particular thing there?
Yes.
And you know what I'm talking about.
I indeed do.
Music charms the savage beast.
Okay, that record. All right, first of all, why is there just a random record player there? Like, that in itself is pretty weird, but at least that's plausible, right? But why is there a record about rat noises? I mean, and yes, we are taking this a bit too far, I know, but I just think it's amusing. Like, someone would have had to record the noises, someone who had to press the disc, and someone must have had the idea, hey, we can make a killing by selling these records of rats running outside fences. Like, I don't know. It's such one of those gags where I'm just shaking my head going, what? That's just really out there. But I mean, it's funny, but it's one of the most random things I've seen in a Looney Tunes short ever. But that's just me. But I also want to point out, before I forget, that safe. I do like how the mayor opens that safe. It's just got all these...
Yeah.
so over the top. Reminds me of Tex Avery, what he used to do.
You read my mind on that one. That was something I actually have it written down, but I was like, I don't know if we'll bring it up. But yeah, thank you. Gave me like vibes of Get Smart whenever he's walking through all those different doors. I think it's Goopy Gear when like the different curtains come up, and of course you see the asbestos curtain. I think it's Goopy Gear. I'm probably wrong. So nerds, feel free to attack me in the comments.
So in terms of rating this cartoon, again, I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. It's solid. It's not, I guess, for me anyway, memorable. Although, look, for everyone else, some people might have grown up with this cartoon and rated higher for nostalgic reasons, but it's a solid cartoon, fantastic animation, and it really is. Some great jokes, and as I said, it's a tour de force for Mel Blanc, especially in the beginning with all those cats. So yeah, definitely an 8 out of 10 for me.
Long for this world.
What say you?
Talking about the short with you now made me think of it a little bit better. Makes me sad when you think about what happens to McKimson as the years go on. I hate when people bash McKimson, but it's like you see shorts like this, it's like the guy started off tremendously well. But I'd give it maybe a little less, a 7.5 out of 10. Good solid short. You know, if it comes on, I'll watch it. I enjoy it, but yeah, good solid fun.
Indeed. So, guys, let me know what you think about this cartoon in the comments below, but also let me know, do you prefer this one, or do you prefer Piper Porky? I mean, as much as I'm a big Clampett fan, this one I think is better of the two, because A, it's got the twist in the story, B, it's got Mel Blanc's, tour de force, as I keep on mentioning, and of course, it's got those wonderful cat insults. You gotta love those. For me, this one just feels like a more solid short, even though, yeah, both shorts had the same writer. I mean, which of those two would you prefer?
Oof. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with this one. Piper Porky, it's all right. It's not one of my, because I love the black and white Clampett Porkies, but that one's all right. This one's a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll leave it at that. And yeah, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, take care.
Your brother owns a wallaby.
Your sister drives a pickle wagon.